Good morning. So it's been a while since I've posted a video. I've been really going deep. This journey gets so real and so raw and so deep. It gets to levels that you couldn't even imagine exist within yourself without. Um, so, really, I've been these last few months in the thick of it, really. And I'm coming to realize, I'm coming to a place of acceptance and surrender and ease and realization and bringing all the focus back to myself, um, and really just letting go. But it's in a way of really letting go. There is no other way. So I realize that there's the superficial letting go, which is you're telling yourself stories that you're letting go and you're trying, and there's a lot of pain in it. And then you see, I'm on the edge of the forest, right? I'm getting out of the woods, but I think that I've gotten to a point where I can kind of, first of all, see where this is heading, and second of all, far enough away from the thick of it to be able to really see, um, to kind of sum things up in a way, right? I'm not completely there yet, so I don't have the complete sum up, but I do have, like, where you get to a point where you can take inventory and kind of get to, um, I guess, a plateau. So these last few months, it's like something inside me has died, is dying, and there's something inside of me that is being born, but it's like being reborn. And I realize that this whole process is all about me, and that my own happiness is not dependent on anything outside of me, not dependent on my counterpart. I can't even call it a twin flame journey anymore. I don't even know. That just seems so superficial to what this is. It's like you have this external reflection that is a big part of the spiritual awakening. It really pushes you and reflects you back, but that is not the objective of the game. The objective of the game is to realize that that is not the objective of the game. The objective of the game is to realize that the center of my universe is evolving and revolving around me, and that it is my response, that I have all of the power within me. I don't have to stand up to anybody else's standards or be accepted by anybody else. It's rather an acceptance of myself and realizing that wherever I am on this spiritual journey, wherever I am with all, the place that I've gotten now is I'm going through the deepest of deeps. At the same time, it's the deepest inside of me that I've ever been. And at the same time, it's like a rising through external portals almost. It feels like you are being born again through these portals that go into the ethers, and then you realize that there's such a vast universe all around us. There's way more unseen than there is seen. And in the unseen is even more real than the seen, because the seen is, the very final product of the ethers. It's the physical is stuff that has already come into form. And when you go into the unseen, everything is still an option. Nothing is formed yet, and everything is still formless. And so you can take, and when you learn how to connect to yourself, you purify yourself, which this is all about, purifying ourselves, right? Getting through, the more we get through ourselves, the purer our connection to the ethers, to the all, to God, to everything else in the universe, everything else in the physical world becomes more pure, and we're able to see it without judgment. So we're able to see it purely, and then we're able to create from these different energies, right? Because everything is energy. So when you go through these portals into these higher realms, you have access. When you purify yourself, right, you have access to channel through you all of the different energies, because we are all facets of God, and we all have our own divine, we're our own divine filter of all of these energies, right? You could call them, in the ancients, they called their archetypes. You could call them gods. You could call them different divine energies. You could call them whatever you want to call them. Um, them, it's all one. But you can combine these things, and you can use it for the power of creation in your own world. But you first have to come into completion within yourself, because when you're trying to look for something external, you can't bring and channel through something external. You can only bring and channel through yourself. So really, it's bringing back yourself to yourself, and your connection to your highest good, or the connection to your pure divine self, without all of the complexity of the physical world, all the things that we were taught, all the ego-minded things on top. And so I was going to say something about the twin thing, the twin flame thing, which is just, it's not about, see, it's about letting go. This external mirror that you receive, which is a total blessing. I just feel so blessed to have this opportunity to, in this lifetime, have had this experience, and having this experience. And it's all about finding that pure love. And that pure love is being able, it's like when you have a child and you just want to see them fly. You love them. You want to see them expand and achieve their maximum. And it's about finding that kind of love for your twin. It's not about trying to hold them and get them into your life. It's about, oh, wow, watch them go. Wanting for them what you would really want for yourself is a full life experience. And that is the unconditional love. It's not a condition on it that as long as you're with me, then trying to pull them and own them, or it's not about that. It's all about, it's exactly the opposite. It's watching them flourish. It's watching them go, and taking joy in watching them be, because it's really like watching the essence of yourself be, but the polar part of yourself. And when you are able to freely watch them and just love them, no matter what, they don't have to be next to you. Go out and do it. Go out and do your thing. Be, you want a family, go create a family. Go, and being able to stand afar, um, in your own divine self, and realizing that being able, wanting to hold on to them is really not only holding them in place, but it's also holding you in place, because it doesn't allow you to fully realize your own self. It's this, for the last 2 years, I don't even know. I feel like I've come to a place, I don't even know how I need to finish my sentences. I don't even know how I managed to hold my head above water this last couple of years, and I'm still just coming out of it now. Um, I have just been in this like loopy obsession chasing. I don't I haven't even been in my own self, really. I've been like searching for my own happiness outside of myself. And when I realized that, wait a minute, first of all, I didn't lose anything, because the more I go through myself in these last few months, it's like you have all this pain, all this pain, all this pain, but then it intensifies forte. You get to a point where it's so intense that you start burning through your own demons deep inside. You start seeing even just the tiniest little nuances, and they're detrimental. Things that once upon a time you would have never even, first of all, never even noticed. But there's like these, you get to this pure self purification where you find the smallest little tiny tainted things that have been there forever. And when you feel the pain of it, because you feel a loss, you feel like, this is the power of having the counterpart, that you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. And so then you start purifying yourself. And in the beginning, you start purifying yourself for the external, right? For your counterpart. You start, well, maybe he would want me if I was more pure in this way. Maybe I would be. And you start purifying yourself in that way, which is a blessing. But then once you start really purifying yourself, and you start realizing that as you purify yourself, you become more and more strong and determined and aware of yourself and more within yourself, and you become more of a magnet. You start seeing how you're magnetizing others to you, and you start seeing the wisdom that is coming out of you because of this purification. And not only the wisdom, it's the connection to the higher realms. All of a sudden, um, your telepathy starts. You start being able to connect and channel messages through you. You start being able to go through these different portals. Your meditation becomes so much more clear, so much more intense, so much more. Um, you become so much more connected and there and present, and you become more present in your life. And even in my work, I'm starting to see my focus, my work, my relationships with other people, with my children. I'm more honest with myself. I'm more honest with other people. I'm more able to tell my truth as it is, even to strangers. You get to a point where you become it becomes so raw, and you become so true with yourself, that you start loving yourself, and you start realizing, okay, wait a minute, the feeling of actually getting myself, that's what it's about. And then you start becoming obsessive and bringing it back to yourself, and then you come to a point where there's an ease at letting your twin just to go. It's like, yeah, go flourish, go have fun. You start seeing the humor in it. You start seeing, you start enjoying it, because you're enjoying yourself. You're enjoying your own life. And then you find that the power of yourself is within yourself, and that you are actually very forgiving for yourself. You're actually very, um, you start seeing that this whole thing is just about me. So if it's all about me, there is no one external to answer to. So I'm answering to myself. And if I'm answering to myself, I'm I'm the only one I'm answering to. So it doesn't, I know that my twin can see all of my faults. But really, I can use that as a mirror to purify myself and to become stronger in myself. And I realize that this whole thing is about me becoming my maximized self. And not only that, the more that I get purified within myself, the more the telepathic connection between me and him becomes stronger. So our energetic connection is so much stronger. So then I see that, well, if I really truly love him, I need to bring my energetic self to a higher place and be purified within myself. And that way, if with unconditional love, right, then I am also purifying him. That is loving him, not trying to own him. Trying to own him is not loving him. Trying to own him is trying to superficial. First of all, trying to own him and bring him to me is superficial, because that's not really love. It's more like greediness. It's more like, I want my happiness to be dependent on you. But that's not pure unconditional love. Pure unconditional love is, I want him to be at his maximum self, to enjoy himself. And if that means that I do my purification work so that I clear out the energy that's between us, which allows him to just go fly and flourish, but it also sets me free to go fly and flourish. And not only that, I realize that we will never be inseparable. We're entangled. There's like this entanglement that's going on between us. And so the more I purify myself, first of all, that connection becomes stronger, regardless if he's next to me or not next to me. That our relationship becomes stronger. And the more I let him go, the more he trusts me not to be pulling on his energy. And the more that he can get close without the fear of me trying to grasp onto him and hold him down and not allow him to go fulfill himself in the ways that he wants to fulfill himself. And the more I let go and the more I purify the energy, the more I can allow him to be in my life, and the more that I don't need him to be in my life. So it's like this. And I was thinking, I have a brother that I see every maybe 6 months. I love him. It's that we're connected, but I don't need to see him all the time, and I don't need, and I know that he's there. But with the twin, it's even more so, because I can feel his energy. And the more I purify myself, the more pure the energetic connection becomes. So I can feel like, probably more than, I don't know if it's more than I want to feel. I think at times it was more than I wanted to feel, but I think now that I'm realizing what it is, it's see, I can feel his relations. I can feel I don't want to go into the privacy. It's his privacy. And so I want to respect that. But I can feel, not only can I feel, I can have conversations with him. And so the more I purify myself, the more I realize that he's not going anywhere. We've been on this journey for generations, for lifetimes. This is not the first time that we've done this. So he's not going anywhere. And so I realized that I can let him go and I can always enjoy him because he's there, but I don't have to own him, which frees me to, first of all, have that security that I have somebody like that in my life. I can always call him and he'll answer. Um, But at the same time, I'm free to go and explore other things. I'm free to purify myself. I'm free to really explore my own life and to fully maximize my life. I'm free to go explore other flavors. I'm free if I want to. Right now, I'm still in the mode of myself. I do want companionship, and I realize that there are lots of nice people out there, lots of different flavors. I don't want to confine my life into one being. That's my only being. Oh, that's very narrow. And so I really feel like now this I've gotten to the point where I went through this portal. It gets to this pain. The pain gets. There were nights and nights and weeks and months, these last few months, that I was just at night just rolling around and cringing and just in total pain. But then I realized that every time I go through one of those episodes of just total pain, it's burning something in me out. It is correcting something, a wrong path that's in me, and it's correcting it, it's healing it. It's me taking the responsibility for it and realizing the pain of it and going through the pain of it and allowing myself to really process it. And in that, I'm able to get the lesson, because the lessons that you get in pain are the lessons that teach you the most. And this is really, I feel like I've come through. I'm still burning out little things, but I'm taking it more and more in stride, and it's happening quicker because I already know the process. So if something comes with pain, I just go, okay, intensify, and I go through it. I think of all of the times. And when we start going through the pain, it starts bringing up past pain that you have gone through the same energetic um, field. And so you're repairing not only what's going on now, what you're finding now, but it's like going backwards through your whole history of your life and repairing all the traumas that you have that are connected to that same pain. I'm almost up here. I just want to show you my organites. This one, it is the name of God in ancient Hebrew. And ever since I put it on, I just feel like I have God close to my heart. These are powerful. They are powerful. I'm going to put up on my site, um, it's alchemy. It's alchemy work. I'm going to put up on my site different examples, and I'm making new ones. I just made an ishtar. If you are interested, you can contact me. I can send pictures, or I'm going to get them up on my site in the next few days, hopefully, bringing the focus back to me. So anybody that is interested, even in a special made, then happily, I feel like I'm spreading joy to the world. I realize how much power there is in the organite. It's the chi energy. I'm almost out of space here, so I'm going to wish you guys lots and lots of love. And thank you for watching. And I will hopefully continue to update as I go through this journey. It's so intense. And sending you guys so much love, so much love. And it gets good. It gets really good. I can see it's getting good. It's getting better and better. So really, anybody on this journey, we are sisters together. I love you. And just go through it and allow the process. It's divine, it's guided, and it's taking us places to the center of ourselves, and enjoy the process.